Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are joined by my son. This is Melbourne. Okay, we'll put him down. And today's recipe is it's a very special recipe to me, and it's one of my personal favorite Moroccan sweets. And this is the Moroccan FEKKAS, which is just amazing. It brings me way back. I have so many fond memories with it, and yeah, we made it. We make it a lot at home. It's very simple, very easy steps. It will take a little bit of time, but it's very much worth it. And they're perfect with either coffee or traditionally Moroccan tea, ete. And they're so good dunked into the liquid. So let me just show you guys how to make FEKKAS. Here we have 200 grams of sugar, 5 eggs, 130 grams of almonds, 130 grams of sesame seeds, 10 grams of baking powder, a tablespoon of fennel seed powder, pinch of salt, a quarter cup of orange blossom water, 200 milliliters of oil, and here we have 800 grams of flour sifted. We could use less, we could also use more. I'll let you guys know how much exactly we end up using. And these are the tablespoons, just the standard measurement. This is something really important for the recipe to work. The almonds are raw, and the sesame seeds aren't exactly toasted. We just heat them up in the pan for a little bit. And the fennel seeds, we toasted them on the pan, the seeds, and then we blended them to a powder. So our first step, in a mixing bowl, we're going to add our eggs and the sugar, and also a pinch of salt. And the goal here is to just dissolve the sugar. We don't want stiff peaks or anything, just to dissolve our sugar. And once you've mixed them a little bit, we're going to add the oil and the orange blossom water. And we're going to mix again. So this is what we're looking for. The sugar looks dissolved, and now we're going to move to our next step. For our next step, we're going to grab a large mixing bowl. We're going to be using a Moroccan ghsa. So to the ghsa, we're going to add our eggs and all our wet ingredients, basically. To the wet ingredients, we're going to add the sesame seeds and the almonds and also the fennel seeds powder. And we're going to start mixing with our hands. Once you've mixed them together, we're going to start adding the flour. You don't have to use gloves, but I'm using it because I have long nails. And we're going to just start mixing it, but with our fingers. Don't use your palm. Once you've added in a decent amount of flour, we're going to add in the baking powder. And we'll just keep adding in the flour until we get our desired consistency. So as you can see, we've got a dough, and it's soft, but it's not too runny or too dense, and this is the kind of consistency we're looking for. So this is the leftover flour from 800 grams. We have 106 left, so we've used about 700 grams. So we've transferred it to our work surface, and we're going to split it into 3 parts, equal size. Once you've split them into 3 approximately equal sizes, we're going to start shaping them. And we're going to shape them into logs, I guess you can say. And the secret is every time you see almonds float to the surface, you're just going to tuck them in. This way it's easier to cut. And you also can control the shape of them. So if you want big ones, you're going to roll a big log. And if you want smaller ones, you can just keep it small. So I've rolled all 3, and now we're just going to adjust them and kind of flatten their surface just a little bit using your fingers. And now we're going to move to our next step. So now we're just going to brush them. Here we have an egg that we added a little bit of instant coffee to. You can also add cocoa powder, but mostly we use just instant coffee. And we're going to gently brush them. So now that we've brushed all 3, we're going to move on to decorating. You can absolutely leave it plain, but this is just how I grew up eating it, and it has this very like iconic pattern. So we're going to take a fork and just from the surface. So this is the most important part when making fekkas, because if we bake it right now, it's not going to work. So we're going to take a pin, make sure it's clean, and we're just going to start poking randomly. And if you come across an almond, then if you feel an almond, just take it off and poke somewhere else. For the baking part, here we have the oven, and don't preheat it. It needs to be cool and 150 degrees only from the bottom. The heat should only be from the bottom, and we're going to bake it 50 minutes to an hour. And when it comes to closing the oven, just leave put a wooden spoon here so it's not completely closed. And we're going to bake it 50 minutes to an hour. So we just took them out of the oven, and as you can see, they have no cracks. This is because we did the poking and the low temperature in the oven, and also leaving the oven open. These are all very important steps for this fekkas to work. So now we're just going to cover them with a clean paper towel. You're just going a clean towel. You're going to make sure it's wet, but also squeeze out any excess water. You're going to cover it, and you're going to let them cool at least 4 hours, but it's nighttime, so we're going to let them cool overnight. So it's the next day, and now we're just going to cut them one at a time. So I'll move this one here and set these aside. For this, you need a sharp knife, and you're just going to cut them thinly, but in one go. So as you can see, we sliced it in a thin way, and as you can see, there are no breaking. It doesn't crumble, it doesn't break, and that's how you know that it has worked. And now I'm just going to continue this process with all of my logs. So once you've cut all of them and lined them up in a tray with parchment paper, we're going to bake them in an oven that we preheated to 160 degrees Celsius. And this isn't the only tray, we have 3 more. So yeah, we're going to bake them at 160 degrees Celsius until they're golden brown. So this is what they look like now that we took them out of the oven and they cooled down. And as you can see, they're nice and golden brown. You can see the slices of almonds, also nice and crispy, golden brown. so much more. The batch that we made gave us more than this, but yeah, some of these we're keeping, and this one I'm going to cover it because I'm going to share it with a friend, someone I love a lot. I'm sharing more than this, and one of these I'll eat. I have tried them. I ate a few, but yeah, I know what they taste like. So you guys heard the crunch. It's nice and crispy. It's not sweet. It's not too sweet, which is good because then it highlights the flavor of the almonds, which give it a nice variety of texture and taste. So yeah, I highly recommend making these, and this would bring us to the end of today's video. I hope that you guys liked today's video, today's recipe. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and also follow me on my socials, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!